But I'm not just any kind of runner. I am a marathon runner. I've completed 15 full marathons. I've qualified for the Boston Marathon twice, which means that I get asked all of the time, Melanie, how do you do that? How do you run a full marathon? I hate running. I have a pretty simple answer, some simple advice. To complete a full marathon, you must start by putting on your shoes. Now, I know that seems really simple, but if you can break it down and start with a simple act, you can do all of the rest of the steps that are necessary to get you to that goal. In 2013, on January 7th, I had to follow my own advice in a way that I would have never imagined, because that was the day at 32 years old that I called my only sister, Wendy, on the phone for the very first time. That might sound a little strange to you. My sister, Wendy, and I are 10 years apart, but we have the same father and separate mothers. When Wendy was just 4 years old, our father left her mother and just never went back. He moved to another state, he met my mother, they got married, eventually I was born, and we continued on with life really as if Wendy was never there. I did always know about her, but she never seemed real to me until I started going to therapy because our father was a lifelong alcoholic. And one night he decided that he was going to take a handful of sleeping pills. He washed that down with a bottle of vodka. He then jumped out of a window, and somehow he survived. And I said, you know what, Melanie, I think we're going to have to go to some therapy to deal with all of that. When the therapist and I finally got through that mess and got around to the topic of this sister, well, let me tell you, even though I really, really wanted to connect with her, the thought of that, it was terrifying. And that therapist, I'm telling you, she had the most ridiculous, outrageous advice. She would say things like, why don't you just call her on the phone? No. I would have rather stood here in my underwear doing table topic questions about my most embarrassing moment than make that phone call because I was that terrified. In my mind, that phone call was going to go something like this. Hi, Wendy. Yes, this is Melanie, your younger sister. Yep, yes, that one. Yep, the one that Dad decided to stay and raise instead of you, yes. I am so sorry, I won't bother you again, I apologize. In my mind, I believed that she resented me for what had happened. That therapist, she just would not let it go. And we had talked about the running and my philosophy for getting started. Just put on your shoes. And she flipped that right around in my face. Said, Melanie, just put on your shoes. Just get her phone number. Don't worry about how badly that phone call is going to go. All you have to do is start with the first piece. Just get that number. Okay. So I looked her up. I got that phone number. I found out that we lived 6 miles apart from each other. And on January 7th of 2013, when I was 32 years old, I dialed my sister's phone number for the very first time. And then I had a tense conversation with God because, man, I was nervous. As soon as that phone started ringing, I started praying, thinking, oh, Lord, please let it go to voicemail. On the second ring, hello? Of course. Okay, God, come on, please let this be the wrong number. Hi, can I speak to Wendy? Yes? All right. Hey, Wendy. This is Melanie, your younger sister. Do you have a couple minutes that we could maybe talk? That couple minutes turned into 2 hours on the phone together that night, which turned into dinner with our husbands and our children that week, which has turned into us working to get closer to each other for the past 7 years and make up for everything that we missed during the first 30. Y'all, for a long time, I allowed fear to paralyze me, to allow me to imagine scenarios that were not real in every aspect of my life. I'm a therapist. She calls it awfulizing, which I think is a perfect term for what it is, but truly, fear, false evidence appearing real. Because what I had in my mind that was so real was never in her mind. After Wendy and I connected, I called our father several times on the phone and I would say, Daddy, call Wendy, please. Ask her for her forgiveness. I know she'll give it to you. What you did doesn't have to be the end of your story. And in 2017, our father passed away and he would never make that call. His fear of what might go badly during that phone call was bigger than his ability to hope for what might have gone right. But you know what? That doesn't have to be your story, because I won't have that story. Whatever that journey of 1,000 miles is that you have in front of you, you only have to take it one step at a time. And to get started, just put on your shoes. Thank you.